yet another individual has come forward giving evidence, testimony, witness, one-on-one to what LIEnette and CROOK have done to this child, to the people of Otter Creek, and frankly, George, to you and I.
And more importantly, coming forward and showing proof and evidence, the receipts of LIEnette knowing exactly who myself and Jeremy were before she ever came to visit that vacant piece of property across the street from our 70 acres in Otter Creek.
And how she planned to make money from us.
This is Otter Creek and the Golden Key. My name is Shara Wolf, and you're listening to Tea Time.
Shara Wolf is an independent journalist.
Yes.
And
investigative journalist.
LIEnette brought her on.
She begged her
to come on to the case, LIEnette's case.
Because she's so innocent.
And I have to admit, I was a little bit aggressive, probably a bit too harsh in regards to Shara and even Jamie Johnson when they were latched on to LIEnette. And this isn't an excuse, but I want to clarify what was going on in my mind, and potentially George, yours as well.
Sure.
Is I can't fathom anybody in their right mind supporting what LIEnette and CROOK are doing to a defenseless child. And so that protective instinct, really comes out. Now, I want to clarify and state, number one, I am sorry to Shara Wolf. Number two, I am sorry to Jamie Star Johnson. And we value them as friends now, and also protectors of this child living across the street.
Well, mostly protectors of the child, and seeing that LIEnette and CROOK are unfit people and should have never been able to, the courts should have never been able to allow her to adopt. And so people don't have to like us. People don't have to like Shara. People don't have to like Jamie, who's the godmother of the child. And so what our goal is so that people can see the truth.
Absolutely.
Us documenting our lives and aligning a lot of the things that are said during this interview with what we've shared over the years.
So that's one of the things we're going to share is Shara's interview with Jamie, which goes way back, almost to the beginning. Jamie was there on day one and told me that LIEnette was following me to Otter Creek.
And I remember specifically Jeremy calling me and said, hey, I got an email from a super fan that said she needed to use the tractor. And when he was done with the tractor on the property, he said, Jamie told me that LIEnette moved there to be across the street from her. What benefit does Jamie gain from that by saying that right in front of LIEnette to Jeremy?
In other words, Jamie isn't the liar. LIEnette is the liar, and we're going to find out what happened on the way home after that encounter.
Yes, Jamie holds the key, the golden key, which is the evidence.
You looked at the place in Otter Creek. On the drive home, how was that? Was it still they were fighting in the car and things? Was all that going on the way home too? Back to Northport from Otter Creek to visit?
All I remember is there was always fighting.
Okay, so okay, that would have been 2021. So 2 years later, let's move it up to 2 years later, because 2 years passed before you were invited to come down again.
Well, and here's the whole thing. I was bringing my family to the other
family
figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to the other family for the summer. At that time, I asked if I could go ahead because I was going to have a camper.
Yes.
And I needed a place to go.
Right.
And that way I could be somewhat close to my family while they were visiting. And, of course, have a visit with them.
Okay, so that sounded fun.
Before I ever got there, that person was already discussing using and me leaving the camper.
The camper.
Before I ever got there.
She wanted to have your camper even before you got there.
And the camper came before I got there.
Right. And she checked it all out and got it all ready and saw no issues with it?
Yep.
But ultimately, I do want to say that you nor anyone you were involved with had anything to do with any stolen property whatsoever. that property was acquired or purchased after the fact, which is innocent on your part. And actually, from what I understand, at that point, because of that, how it was acquired and purchased, that you actually could have kept that property and you should have been able to drive it off that lot and leave anyway, because really it was now legally yours.
Who's this sound like? Would that be Lloyd? Remember, he had a camper too, right?
That she wanted, desperately wanted.
Yes, yes.
Why? Because she knew she would never have enough funds to properly build a livable home. Remember, back in December of 2021, or was it 22? No, December of 22, when she texted one of the locals that lived in Otter Creek that she ran out of money.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, April of 2023, before we ever exposed LIEnette, she said she's one of the people that can't afford to build or fix her house.
You see, you can predict the future. This. You don't need witchy intuition. You can actually predict the future based on what people have done in the past. People, they operate on patterns. So if somebody's a felon and they've done something completely and totally inappropriate, well, let's just use Dodgy Robbie as an example, or Paint Chips, or Gaby Boo, or we could keep going on.
Those are three great examples.
Yeah, well, pretty good examples. You know what's going to happen next because they've already done it in the past. You know, success breeds success. Failure breeds failure. Felons breed more felons.
When you tried to take your camper and leave that property when things got unbearable, did she block you and stop you from taking your property?
Yes. I had set up to have it moved to a different property, and I was told there's no way that she was going to let me take it to somebody else's property to be ruined and destroyed.
Because she wanted that camper.
Very much so.
Oh my goodness. She did not want to have...
She talked about it constantly, that, you know, if I didn't want to take it home, that I could leave it there, and that her and the baby could live in it.
Wow.
And this was a very nice camper.
Jamie had all legal tenant rights, just like Lloyd did. Her property, even though she's on somebody else's physical property. So the laws are, and we released a video not too long ago about a tenant that got evicted in one of my apartments. And in the lease, there is no subleasing. In other words, you can't just have somebody else come and live there. Anybody who stays over 2 nights in the state of Ohio, they're now considered a resident, okay? And without approval, that can't happen. Because now they're a resident at that property. They have all tenant rights, the whole deal. Which is why I have no subleasing in my actual leases. So it protects every other tenant. So Jamie had every right to go on that property after LIEnette kicked her off. She had every legal right. She could bring anybody on that property. You cannot put a no trespass on Jamie or Jamie's guests, as she's been living on that property, which I believe was upwards to 2 months.
That's exactly what I needed. A break from all the chaos and all the constant yelling and fighting.
Unreal.
So when I went out and did something with family, then she was mad. So when I came home, I had a family member with me, and she freaked out on me, saying that I was bringing strangers around her baby. It was my family. We were going to get some things. I was going to shower. We were going to get some things.
You were coming home.
For that night.
You were living. Listen, you were living there legally. You were coming home with a family member to get some things, and you were going to do other things. So really, you had every legal right to do that, and because you were there for 2 months, you actually lived there. You came back with your family, and did she tell you had to leave at that point?
Yes, she blew up. And told me I had to leave.
Which was really not following the statutes in the area, because she did not have the right to tell you to leave your home. Did she refuse to let you on the property? Did she tell you to leave the property? Like, what happened?
She told me to leave when I was there with my family members.
And did she tell you that you can't come back?
Oh, yeah.
But all your clothing was in there. All your food was there. Everything that you owned was in that camper.
Yeah, I had everything that I needed to...
You could have lived there. You could have actually lived there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could have lived in that trailer for a long time. I had almost all new clothing. It was my birthday. I celebrated my birthday there. So I had bought an electric drum set.
Oh, I remember the
And that
drum
was in there.
set. That was
Yeah.
in there too. So you had
That
a
was in there,
lot
too.
of valuables in
Beautiful.
your camper, and you had
Yes.
and a beautiful
Money.
camper.
I had money.
And now let's talk about the that too. Oh, was money missing?
Absolutely.
Oh, let's talk about that for a minute, because something happened in somebody else's camper where there was money on a table that disappeared. And she was entering that camper against the man's wish when he was in the hospital because of an injury that he had.
Seeing any patterns here, George?
Oh, major patterns.
Yeah.
It's just seeping.
Oozing.
Oozing.
Oh, yeah. The reality is this. If Jamie wanted to, she could file suit against LIEnette for theft. And that would be another felony on LIEnette's already huge record. Huge. We're talking huge. Silent H.
So huge that the H is silent.
The biggest thing that bothered me is when we came down, we borrowed my pops's handicap shelf that you would put a wheelchair on the back of a car. It was on the hitch, and she kept that, and that was my father's wheelchair.
Wow.
So that was very, very upsetting.
Devastating.
That's the one thing that it wasn't my property. So
Yes.
you can imagine the guilt that I had when I was not able to return that.
They're actually still using that stolen piece of property today, aren't they,
They
George?
are. They are. We have proof that it was attached to Jamie's vehicle the day that she arrived to Otter Creek with her SUV. And we have recent pictures of LIEnette and CROOK hauling jugs of water on that exact same piece of stolen equipment.
They went to Walmart, got water, then they went through the Burger King drive-thru with the exact same water on that. You know what? Let's just take a peek right here, because George, you got the receipts, don't you?
We always have the receipts, unlike LIEnette and her side.
He instructed her to return all your property to you. And she refused. How many times did you ask her and beg her for your property? How many times?
Many times. I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I'm like, that's just wrong.
Are you aware that she's always selling things?
No.
Well, she somehow, and look, at someone who has no money and is always doing GoFundMes for money, she has been selling truckloads of jewelry. Where's she getting all that jewelry from?
I don't know.
She literally always has, she tells me all along while I was working with her that she would have these little special secret gift things
I remember that.
Yeah.
She was going to do that. She hadn't done that yet. But that's how she was going to have these boxes and some advice on how she should package them and so forth. I just now recalled that.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why I think they were secret little things where you don't know what you get until you buy it? How would she be able to display something that somebody might recognize?
Right.
That's Shara and Jamie's opinion. And frankly, I shared the opinion.
Yeah, they're entitled to their own opinion as long as it's not defamation and doesn't go against free speech.
So one of the questions we get all the time, what if you find stolen items in a storage unit? How do you prove it was stolen? You got to have the person say, well, that was mine. Let's say they find my phone. All right. How many of these phones? This is an S25. How many of these phones have been mass produced? They're everywhere. How do you prove it? You got to have a serial number.
You have to have some type of identifying number to that item.
Oh, but Jamie's the individual that can identify, just like she did with the little hookup.
In the beginning, I was believing her just like you were, I'm sure.
Yep.
She started telling you terrible things about him, and you thought, oh my gosh, I've got to protect my friend. I'm sure you were like, what is going on here? And that you started calling on me, you've got to help her, she's a victim, and this and that. Well, I believed her first because she is very convincing. And I thought, if this guy's really doing what she's saying, how can I walk away and not help a child? Like, this is crazy. She told me some very disturbing things about him that turned out not to be true in what I collected.
Absolutely.
And there came a time, she always told me she never hit the child. But then evidence...
That's not true. That's not true.
Did you witness her hitting her? Because there are things that came up.
She spanked her and she popped her in the mouth.
just like we heard on the 911 call. Well, LIEnette specifically told the child that she was going to spank her right on the mouth. It just rolled off the tongue as if she threatens her with that all the time, or she does it all of the time to the child.
Now, the reality is many residents of Otter Creek have already seen this. Even Christian and Patience, particularly Patience, saw it.
At the Meet the Candidates.
When we were at the Meet the Candidates. She did it in front of everybody when she's trying to get voted in for town council, which would be horrific if that ever happened.
She did it a lot.
Oh, you know how I know this is true, what you're telling me? Because in that 911 call, she threatened. The child was only trying to get normal attention. When you're on the phone, children, they want to crawl up your leg. They want to be hugged. They want their juicy juice. Children always want our love. They always want our love. And she was never gentle on any phone call I had. She was never gentle with that child. And I heard things which I'm going to get into at another time. Some very, very, I don't even know how to put it. Anyway, I heard in that phone call with the Sheriff Department, her threatening to hit that child in the mouth.
Yeah, I heard that.
When I saw that video,
we saw it though. I mean,
you saw that video where he put that audio?
No, we saw her pop her in the mouth.
How many times do you think she did that? Was she doing it every day, do you think, or was she doing it occasionally? Like,
probably every day. I would.
See, that is not. Listen, I know some people believe in corporal punishment. Some don't. Corporal punishment is never, ever, ever has anything to do with hitting a child in the mouth. And that is why when I heard that audio of that sheriff call, she told me she never touched that child. I have it in text.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that at the end of my video where she said she said she never.
Pop her in the butt too.
Well, she told me she never did, and then I also heard a CPS call where she told CPS that she does hit her. So I began to have great concerns at that point, and I saw Jeremy in that video, and I saw his face. Everything changed in that moment for me. I swear I saw like a white glow around him, because at first I thought, when I watched his videos, I thought, wow, God, that really confused me. But in that moment when I saw the way he spoke about that audio, and I looked at him and I just saw his face and his expression and his concern, I knew that he was telling the truth. I knew it.
There you go, because
he's another one. He's another one. I'm going to tell you, heart to heart, from me to you. Every record I ever collected on you matched up to everything you said to me. I love you for it.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell you, every record I collected in this case involving him and what he said in his videos have proven that he did not lie.
Like me or hate me. Like you or hate you. How can anyone not stand up and protect a defenseless child?
Yes, and there you just heard it straight from the godmother's mouth, that she witnessed it with her own eyes along with her significant other that was there and witnessed them, LIEnette, popping the child in the mouth. Popping the child in the mouth.
And to be clear, we've never claimed to be perfect parents, right?
No, there's a difference between disciplining your child, spanking your child on the butt, but to pop them in the mouth with the back of your hand, not okay. That is abuse.
I didn't find evidence of him doing any of the things that she told me he was doing. I found evidence that showed me what she was doing. Evidence that contradicted things that she was telling me. Everything.
Yeah.
CPS was ignoring signs in this case, very serious signs. No matter how many times they were called, they were doing nothing. And you and I both know from the history of what we have done in cases that they either take them for no reason or they leave them in serious situations. That's what they do. So in that phone call with her, she told me that JC had left his G. I don't want to say the word G. I'll call it a G.
Yep.
Power tool. I'll call it a power tool. I like to call it a power tool. He left his power tool in the vehicle. The child was in the vehicle alone. MP was trying to get her to come out. She was yelling at her to come out. She was very, very, very abrasive to her, trying to get her to come out. She didn't want to come out. And she was kind of and she said, she's in there moving around all over the place. And I think he left his power tool in the vehicle.
Well, I have a power tool story, too. I get a call from her asking me if I can look in the driveway around the property for a pow-pow because JC couldn't find it.
Oh, my
goodness. By the time she got back, I was told that it was in the car the whole time underneath the seat.
Under her seat, the child's seat.
The baby was, and the baby was in the car. Now,
yes.
She may have been abrasive trying to get her out, but let me tell you how much that poor baby spent, how much time that baby spent in that car. Yeah.
Wow.
All the time.
Tell me about that.
She'd sit her in there and put her with a tablet.
And leave her in the car?
Yeah, while they were around the property.
Well, I've actually heard her putting her in the car to make sure she could be somewhere while we were talking.
How many times did you leave your son in a vehicle throughout the day with, random freedom sticks around?
Never.
What?
I've never even let the tablet babysit my kid.
What the what?
Yes, it's so true.
I need bug right now. What the?
If you remember, the couple that she hired, the ones that were living in her shed for months, they called CPS on her because they had the same complaint where LIEnette left the child in the car seat by herself, strapped up in the child's car seat.
These are rug addicts calling children's services.
Even concerned for the child.
Why couldn't she leave the baby with him?
Because she didn't want to ever leave him alone with him.
Well,
allegedly.
that's a question too. Why? When
she accused him of inappropriate behavior.
Yes, she told
Right.
me. She told me some things, disturbing things. Let me ask you this: your relationship with JC, was it very bad from the get-go, from the start?
Absolutely.
Was he
He
kind
was very, 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 very mean. Very.
Was he abusive toward you?
abrasive. Yeah, absolutely. He called us names. There was one night, like I said, he started screaming out of the camper. I tried to record it, but he was screaming out of the camper, yelling at us, calling us names, saying we needed to get off the property right now. He was going to call the police.
Maybe at that point they were trying to find a reason to separate you from your camper.
Oh, absolutely. Looking back on it, absolutely. She wanted that camper. She didn't care what she had to do to get it. And because she didn't get it. That's why I feel like what she did purposely.
The irony in this all is a scammer found another toothless scammer who stole tens of thousands of dollars from her, which is the foundation of the Fed 2 court case.
Yes.
Fraud. Complete and total fraud. There are going to be so many criminal charges that come out of these court cases. I can't even fathom what the future holds right now. What I can not fathom either, how do you kick somebody off your property, try and steal their camper from them when you're claiming that's the godmother?
Tell me about the money missing, that part.
I mean, I had several $100s that were placed in there for my trip.
And where was it?
Whenever I got everything back, there was no money in there.
The money was gone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting, because when Lloyd stayed on the schoolhouse property with us, he confirmed with us that the $300 that was sitting on his table,
Gone.
Missing, gone. And LIEnette herself has even taken video footage of her walking into Lloyd's camper
Illegally.
without his consent,
That's
pretending like she didn't know where anything was. And she's like, I know there's something under this ottoman, as she lifts things off of the ottoman to open the ottoman. But if you've never been in his camper and you don't know where anything is, how did you know there was something in the ottoman?
We spent over $500 to run the lines from the actual meter to our camper. She kept all of that. All we had to buy a longer sewer thing, didn't we? We had to buy that. That was not there. All of our stuff that came with wasn't there. Yeah, all the electric cords that came with it weren't there.
And lots of tools and things like that you had in.
Oh, yeah, he had all his tools in there. We had just bought him new tools. We had new sets of tools underneath in some buckets that my ex had given him. We had like a leaf blower. We had weed eater.
It sounds like a nightmare. It literally sounds like a nightmare. It almost seems like.
We had a pressure washer there. I mean, just tons of stuff.
Yeah.
That were just stolen.
Remember the newest grift that LIEnette needs all this money for another camper?
Yes.
And she hopes It comes with all the cords
and hoses,
which
makes us believe she did not see it in person.
I'm not even sure it's a real thing. But in regards to the actual camper that she's stating now she's going to get, because we already found that camper on Camper World's YouTube page. She
taken 3 years ago.
Took exact screenshots of it. And that was taken 3 years ago. And by the way, it wasn't us that found it. It was Deanna. Deanna is one of the greatest detectives you will ever meet in your life. And that being said, Jamie just told us that all of her cords and hoses were taken and stolen.
Isn't that interesting?
Why? Why would anybody hope that a new camper comes with all those things when you already stole them? Or did she already sell those too at the flea market or Facebook Marketplace or anywhere else she could get any money and scam and grift and con whatsoever?
Anything is possible.
Wasn't tied to the ground, was it, George?
No, it wasn't. And anything not tied to the ground had to have been sold. She sold everything. Everything.
That's what she stated publicly.
There's an incident with a cupcake that I absolutely was shocked
What?
at how she reacted.
What?
We went to the store. I bought some cupcakes.
Yeah.
Not thinking. I set them next to the baby.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I turn around and the baby's covered with blue icing.
Aww.
And it was cute. I have
Yes.
pictures of it I think I've given to you.
Adorable.
Where I was like kind of laughing about it.
Yeah.
Where she was just absolutely angry. She had a condition, and how could I give her this and put them too close? And now she was in trouble for eating this cupcake. And all she did is, she's a kid.
Yes,
You
of
said,
course.
it was my fault in the sense that I'm the one that set the cupcake next to
Yeah,
her.
but was she
Not
angry?
really thinking she might get into it. But
Was
she's angry at the baby.
She was angry at the baby. What did she say to the baby?
I don't remember everything.
Was she
but-
yelling at her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, abrasive, like
I mean,
very...
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what word for word, but yeah, she was angry at that and angry at me.
It's horrible. Would they curse at each other and things like that in front of the baby? Say, like...
Oh my God.
Got out to get ice. That's when she got in the cupcake.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. She was there too. We got out to get ice and stuff, and that's when she got in the cupcake. But she was very angry. But what did you ask me? I apologize. Oh, did they yell and cuss in front of her?
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Oh.
That's all they ever did. It was constant screaming and yelling.
The entire town of Otter Creek has heard this.
Oh, yeah.
What? You don't need hyperbolic microphones on your property to pick up any of this stuff.
No, LIEnette has a distinguished voice anyways. It's just like
Very manly.
It's very
scratchy, raspy,
like ear
manly.
bleeding.
Yeah, it's like Fleeca's. It's weird that LIEnette and Fleeca have these manly voices, and yet Paint Chips has this feminine voice. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, LIEnette and
Paint Chips.
Fleeca combined together have more of a masculine voice than Paint Chips does. Because every time I hear a small snippet, a clip of his screeching voice, I think it's a female.
And the reality is you don't need microphones to hear any of this. It's daily. It's nonstop. Everyone around can hear it everywhere. So the ridiculousness of people stating that we have hyperbolic microphones all over the property.
It's pretty laughable.
360 cameras.
9 or 10, I believe.
I think it's up to 18, isn't it?
They're mathing.
We might have as many cameras on the property as LIEnette states that Children's Services has come out on her property.
This is true.
This could be a tie right now.
The number of visits.
Do we have cameras? Do we have microphones? Do we?
Always had a G on her. Always.
Yeah, they both seem to always have a G on them, which is just... There's a lot of things going on here, Jamie, and I got to say, I've been a part of some of the CPS visits. Like, I've been on the phone.
Yeah.
And I know why they didn't take them. I'm not going to say it now in this conversation, but I know what's going on there.
Shara has put out some banger videos just filled with evidence.
Yes, and it's not smoking mirrors like LIEnette claims, and it's not AI generated.
I got to tell you, I'm waiting for this one. I can't wait. If she knows why Children's Services hasn't taken the child out of that toxic, horrific, horrible environment, I hope there's a good excuse, but I can't come up with one. I can't think of one at all.
A lot of people can't.
She's very, very good
Yes.
at manipulation.
Yes.
And getting you sucked in. It really got bad when John got there.
Yeah.
My partner stood nose to nose with him one day when he was going off.
Crookie Boy said he would go toe-to-toe with me anytime.
And he did it shirtless.
Oh, yeah, he did. No, bro either. No
and
bro.
shoeless.
Yeah, and toothless as well. And he never even got out of his vehicle. He literally stalked me to my property, trespassed on my property. That white Jeep Gladiator was on the property, and he was too scared to get out of his vehicle.
Oh, well, he sat outside of the ranch house for at least 20 minutes, and he specifically stated in his video that he recorded himself with his own device. Oh, I'll just wait out here outside of Jeremy's property until they come off.
There was no masks. I never saw her sick.
Yeah.
I believe the tube was placed in her stomach
Before
at
you.
that time. And
At
she
what
was
time?
feeding her through that.
When
the second visit.
Oh,
She already had-
okay. Wait a minute.
No,
So,
not at all.
was she looking very healthy and behaving nice and normally and eating and
She
healthy? And
always looked healthy, and I have pictures of her eating.
do you know
I
how?
have pictures of her eating regular food.
You mean like ice cream cones from Burger King?
With protein?
Oh, yes. You know it even has more protein, George. You know, once LIEnette was called out on this, because we have private investigators following all these people. These are major, multi-million-dollar lawsuits. Then she goes, well, what if we do go to Burger King and we get the Impossible Burger? Now, if you're not familiar with the Impossible Burger, that's the vegetarian burger. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Hold a second. Do you know what has more protein than even the ice cream cone, George?
Would that be the Impossible Burger?
Impossible Burger. Yeah. Protein isn't just found in meat. It's found in quite a few plants.
I have never in my life craved for CPS more than I do in this situation.
Yep.
Do you
I
understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? I crave it.
They should take her. I mean, in my opinion, they should have.
I know.
I'm not a fan of children's services either. Are you?
No, not
No.
at all.
Okay.
I mean, I had CPS called on, in Ohio it's called CPS,
Yeah.
called on me falsely by one of the employees in my child's daycare when he was an infant. There was no case plan. She closed the case. It was a false reporting.
It seems like 9 times out of 10 they get it so wrong, and here in Florida 10 times out of 10 they've got it completely and totally wrong in this situation. My biggest fear is there's going to be irreversible damage and potentially even loss of life of this child. And it's not ever going to be by our hands or by anybody else's hands except for
The primary
LIEnette
caregivers.
and CROOK. LIEnette and CROOK.
And possibly even Levy County.
Nobody's doing anything to protect this child. And you would think that with it being exposed, you would think that with the accountability of the information being out there, that Levy County would actually do something. And we've seen the exact opposite.
In Northport, I know that there's been some issues come up about
CPS.
biological family.
Yeah.
I showed you pictures
Yes.
of when I went there, and what was told to me is that they were staying in contact.
Yeah.
There was other brothers and sisters.
Yes.
One of the brothers actually came with the other, biological
Yeah, I saw
grandmother.
that. I saw that.
And,
Yeah.
and I captured that
Yes.
because they came to visit the baby.
Wonderful. The baby would have had a full family there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then it was no more. After she left,
Yes.
next thing I know is they don't want anything to do with us.
Devastating.
It was complete misinformation put
Yes,
out there
yes.
on the fact that biological family didn't want something to do with the baby.
They
My
did.
understanding was the baby was always going to be able to be in contact with its siblings.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's not what happened.
It's not what happened, and that devastated the family because they felt like they were going to be part of raising her as well.
Family has always wanted to be a part of her life.
It was supposed to be an open adoption, if you want to call it adoption.
Well, and then LIEnette closed the door. And we've been a vital part, and many of you have been a vital part of trying to help the aunts save the child. There have been many questions. What's happening? What's going on with that? There's only so much we can answer, as it's not our lawsuit. It's not our case. What we can share with you is that the GoFundMe all went towards the aunts, and the aunts have hired lawyers, and thus far, they have not had a door open legally for them. And yes, the money has run out with lawyers as well, but they've not stopped. They have not stopped their pursuit to try and save this child. There are still different angles that they are working towards. And again, we're not going to show their cards with their filings, their lawsuits, what they're trying to accomplish to do. What you can continue to do is pray for them, pray for the child, and hopefully someday somebody does the right thing and saves this child. And frankly, I think the best place for the child is with family.
With their own biological siblings.
Absolutely. And we both know families are messy, okay?
Sure.
My family is messy. Your family is messy. But where this child is complete and total abuse. Big difference from messy to living in squalor and trash and abuse nonstop around the clock.
Yes.
I am sure that they are suffering in this situation. They are suffering. They are.
I'm sure. I can't imagine. And I don't really know. I mean, I thought it was all legit. It was a prison. That's what we felt like. And I'm
it makes
sorry
me
to
cry.
speak up sooner, but at the
It's
same
okay.
time,
I know.
I have to protect myself.
Well, you were scared. It's
I
a
was.
scary situation, and that everybody would understand that. There's nothing you did wrong. You had to protect yourself and your family. You had to leave, but you didn't want to leave her behind. I know your heart.
Really pay attention to this next part, because Shara is actually going to be appearing in Ohio court in just a few days here against LIEnette and CROOK and others as well as a key witness in regards to this testimony. This is huge.
So crucial.
I was speaking to her, and she said to me that her and JC were discussing searching for a hitman to kill. To 86. 86, I should say 86. I'll have to redact that other word out. To 86, Jeremy.
Wow.
And I thought to myself when I heard her.
I know she had such hatred inside of her that would
So much.
swell up and was just boiling. Yes.
Anger.
Many times she would say stuff about wishing she could do something.
How's that make you feel, George?
LIEnette didn't get what she wanted, and now she is spiraling. She has been spiraling. When you tell her no, all of a sudden she wants a hit on you. Let's see, the biological grandmother of the child, they were best friends, remember?
Oh, I do remember
They
that.
were best friends. Now that she
That was
shut
a
them
lie.
out of their life.
That was a lie.
Jamie, who's the godmother, they were best friends. They were best friends, remember?
Yep.
And now she's no longer a part of her life.
Yep.
When is she going to say...
Felisa.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, they were...
She loved her so much. She loved her so much, and now they're no longer friends.
Do you think LIEnette and CROOK are looking for another hit for, dare I say?
I don't know what she's thinking, but she's definitely not mentally healthy. And poor child that has to live with them every day, day in, day out, and witnessing the arguing and the chaos in an unhealthy way.
This is what happens when you tell psychopaths no.
I thought to myself, oh my God, I didn't record that. How would anyone even believe me? A few minutes later, I called her back, recording. And I told her I was recording. She knew I was recording. And I said, I'm recording. And, you're saying this. Did you mean that? Like, why are you saying that? And she told me that she did mean it, that she was serious. There were other things that they said to me that were so disturbing. Like one time, I'm talking to her on a recorded phone call. She agreed to be recorded. Like, she always said I could record her. I'm recording her interviews. I was doing interviews with her. You know how I do it. I did it with you.
Yeah.
I've always done this. This is how I've always done it. So I was recording her, and she said, I need to get him, or he needs to be put down like a dead dog. Okay, normal people don't say things like that.
Wow.
They don't say things like that, Jamie.
Well, I mean, we were there firsthand.
Unreal.
I mean, I don't have any kind of friendship with JH. In fact,
I know you don't.
He came at me a little bit.
I know he did. He came at me too.
misinformed.
Misinformed, yes.
I've been told that he understands the situation was not as it was.
Yes.
And I can move past that.
Yes,
but
me
I don't have
too.
any affiliation to say, oh, he's my buddy, so I'm going to cover for him.
I know you
That's not
don't.
the case.
You have no relationship. You have no relationship with
We have
him.
no net. I have no contact, no relationship, no nothing.
Yes.
I have not talked to that man since I left.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even ask you that question. What you just said is what has happened to him. You have nothing.
Right.
Listen, everything you're saying is even matching up public records that I've collected.
Yep.
Isn't it interesting that not one single person has ever reproduced or replicated LIEnette's own lie about she was watching the property in Otter Creek since 2018 because she needed to save the baby? Except there was no baby in 2018, not even a pregnancy as of yet. And every single one of her own pieces of communication share that she's lied. It's always about the strategy, how she was going to make money, because what the Hales was in Otter Creek. She's a stalker. Anything happens to either of us, I think we all know who did it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the what the Hales ecosystem with LIEnette and CROOK at the center of it. DEUCE coming in and building everybody together, and that toothless freak Fleesa spewing out horrific stuff all the time.
Well, now pointing fingers at
Yeah.
DEUCE. It was him.
Yeah.
They came up with the what the hell's ecosystem, not her.
Chubby sausages. I wonder if Gabe licks on those.
It was DEUCE who recruited her to cover this story.
Yeah, it's amazing what's going to happen at the end of all of this once we get to court. That being said, that Shara has done a phenomenal job putting together evidence, and strongly encourage that you actually subscribe to her channel. We've taken the highlights of her, that was over an hour and almost 30-minute video.
Almost an hour and about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and so if you want to watch the full interview, head over to her channel and watch the full interview. And there's more to come.
So much more to come.
Yes.
So much more she's already released. And she focuses dead on, no pun intended.
Nope. LIEnette wanted her to
evidence.
cover her story, and Shara is covering her story and sharing the truth.
It's golden. You might even call it the golden key.